friends, it's Tina Sutton with Miss Ginger Dots Designs, and today we are going to do a fun fold card using this super cute stamp set called More Than Autumn. Because guess what, folks? It's pumpkin spice season. I had my first latte the other day, so very exciting. So we're going to use this stamp set, and I want to show you the dies. Now this stamp set can be purchased just the stamp set, or just the dies, or the stamp set and dies. One thing, transferring from Close to My Heart, or coming over from Close to My Heart, you know, for most of you know that I was with them for 30 years. Not everybody, several people have said, oh, their stamps and dies are so much more expensive. Actually, not. The stamps are pretty much the same size. But if you buy the stamps and dies together, they are a little bit more expensive. But look how many dies you get. The difference with Stampin' Up! And Close to My Heart had outline dies. So for this set, they might have had a die for the cup, maybe a die for, you know, the larger stamps, maybe the pumpkin pie, maybe the donut. But here, look at all these dies. Not only do you have dies for all of these images, even the little bitty images, like look at that cute little gingerbread man. They also have words. So not only to make it ease of cutting, instead of fussy cutting, also it adds a dimension to your project. So let me show you, I'm going to put this away. I always store my dies with my stamp sets so I don't lose them. They do come in a separate envelope if you prefer that method, but I store mine together. But this is the cute card we're going to make. How fun is that? But I'm going to show you, by making the card today, the difference in what dies can do to make your images pop. So anyway, this is the card. So let's go ahead. I'm going to move it to the side, and let's go ahead and let's get stamping. Fun, fun, fun. All right, so we're going to start with a piece of espresso card stock, and I want to cut it down to 7 8 1/4. Now, if you want to, you can take notes as I make this, or if you want to wait, I will have all of these dimensions on my website. So you can just hop over there and get everything you need. So 7 by 8 1/4. I'm using an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, which is so different for me because I'm so used to cutting 12 by 12, but I like having the flexibility for cards of having the 8.5 by 11 paper. All right, now I want to score it. So our paper cutter, if you're not familiar, it's 2-in-1, and you don't have to change the blades. They just stay in here. So I love that aspect of this paper cutter. I love everything about this paper cutter. But anyway, I want to score on the 2-inch. So I'm going to score right here. Now, I like a deep score, so a lot of times I will press a little harder. So there's 2 inches and 4 inches. All right, now I'm not done with my paper cutter, but I'm going to move it to the side for a minute, and I'm going to go ahead and use my bone folder and score this. I want a nice crease. All right, so there we go. Now, wait a minute, that's not the same size. So what I want to do is I'm going to cut 1.5 inches off of the 7-inch side. So I'm going to turn it like this, and I'm going to cut 1.5 inches off. Oops, that's my score. You have to kind of pay attention, and I'm going to go over it a couple times just because I'm cutting through 3 thicknesses, and I need to do it one more time. It needs to cut right there. All right. Oh, I'm going to need to get my snippers. I should have, you know what I should have done is just pulled this out. I mean, not pulled it out. Oh, my goodness. You know what? Okay, that's going to drive me batty, so I'm just going to trim a hair off. Because I want this to be nice and smooth. Oops, wrong one. Okay, there we go. Oh, I just made a bigger mess. Okay, well, there are no mistakes in scrapbooking or card making, so I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller. It's all good, right? All good. So this card, when folded, should be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And it's pretty close. I'm about 1/8 of an inch off, but it won't make a difference on this card. And then this, you know what, I want this to be smooth too. So instead of starting all over, you know, a lot of times you can fix your cards and nobody will ever know, unless you're on YouTube doing what I'm doing. So, okay. So there we go. This is going to be the base of my card. And see, I'm going to glue these pieces together. But before I do that, that's going to make my Z fold, right? But before I do that, I'm going to decorate the background. So I am going to use, you were getting sneak peeks from our new book that's going to launch. It's going to launch September 5th. I'm going to need to cut this down a little bit. I made it the wrong size, but this is called Season of Elegance paper, and I absolutely, absolutely love this paper. It's a designer paper. I don't know if you can see it. It has foil on it, and it comes, I've used all of mine already. As a demonstrator, we can pre-order. I've used all of my paper. You get a green, this color, red, a peacock color, and another color of green. So one side is flat if you don't want the sparkly, or this is like sparkly. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So I don't know what I did here. I guess because I cut it down, I'm going to have to cut a little bit of edges off. So let me just see what my actual measurement is. It is going to be 5 1/2. Maybe I just cut this wrong to begin with. It should be 5 1/4. No, wait. Yeah, no, 5. Okay. So I'm having to cut it down 1/4 of an inch. I cut about 1/4 of an inch off this card, so it should have been 5. This should have been 5 1/4, but I'm having to make it 5 because this card's going to be a little bit shorter. See? It's just a little bit shorter because of my boo-boos, but that's it. So I'm going to also have to cut 1/4 of an inch off of these two pieces. And again, I'm going to give you the correct dimensions on my website. I'm altering it right now, but rather than throw this project out and start all over it, I'm altering, which is a good thing to show, I think, because, you know, I like to tell all my students there are no mistakes in scrapbooking or card making. So these pieces are going to get glued here. Look how pretty. And, you know, originally when I designed this card, I thought I needed the muted side, but I accidentally put the glue on the wrong side, and you ended up using the sparkle, or whatever you want to call it, the glittery side, and I really liked it. So I'm leaving it as is. If you know me, I don't like to do the same thing more than once, so I'm really surprised that I'm doing it the same, but I really like the way this turned out. So I'm using the thick end on this of our, I call it green glue, our multi-purpose glue, which I really like. Doesn't wrinkle your paper. Takes a little bit of time to get used to. The skinny end and I fight because I tend to squeeze too much out, but I'm getting very used to it. And I try not to get it on my fingertips because it's sticky. But the thing that I like about it is it's repositionable. So if you get it on crooked, it's repositionable until it dries. And when it dries, when it's white, it's repositionable. When it dries clear, it's permanent. So this glue does squish out a little bit, so I don't go all the way to the corners. If I do, I just do like a tiny dot like you just saw. All right, so this is going to be the base. All right, nice and even, and there is my, so see, that's how that's going to go. It's going to get folded like that. All right, then I'm going to glue this. You know, you could do this up a little bit. I like it flat on the bottom. So I'm going to glue, I need to put glue on the little piece, and I'm going to put it here so I don't mess up and put it outside of the lines, if that makes sense. All right, I want to lining up the edges here. Okay, I'm gonna get this flat. Uh-oh. Line it up. Wait, what's going on here? There we go. I'm gonna hold that down. Okay, hold. All right, we're gonna put this away and let it dry for a little bit. That's how it's gonna look. That's how it looks from the top. So it looks very different. I need a little bit of glue. No, I just need to press that down. Okay, so that's how it's gonna open. But I'm gonna put it aside to let it dry. Then I get to decorate the bottom piece. So this is kind of what I want to show you. Now I've cut several of these, and I went ahead and did the die cutting ahead of time, the donut, the pumpkin pie, some of the fun stuff. And nothing from like Christmassy, not the gingerbread, because this is look, we're talking eggnogs, we're talking hot cocoa, we're talking donuts. So this is not just a fall spice stamp set. Close to My Heart had one that was similar last year, but it was strictly fall. This is all of the holidays, peppermint, well, not all of the holidays, but this season. It is fall, apple season, apple pie, peppermint, pumpkin spice. But we're doing pumpkin spice today just because I'm in the mood. So let me kind of show you what I'm talking about as far as, let's put this cup together. I've already done some of the coloring. I know you guys like to see me color, so we're going to color a little bit, but I did a lot of the coloring and prepping ahead of time because it's kind of a fussy card. It doesn't take too long. And let me see if I can zoom in on that. There we go. All right, so I've already colored the cup. Let's go ahead and color the straw. Now, when I'm designing a card, I don't use every color that we have. I usually pick 2, 3, maybe 4 colors. So we are using crumb cake today for markers. Crumb cake, the pumpkin pie, light and dark, and did I say pumpkin pie? Yeah, pumpkin pie. And then pecan pie, just to get you confused. So pumpkin pie, oh, you can't see. And pecan, I zoomed in so you can't see everything. Pecan pie. So, anyway, I've already colored the cup. And just, okay, I want to talk a little bit because this is something you miss. Okay, whipped cream's white, right? So most people just like to leave this white. But I like to bring a little color into it. Yeah, this is the thin end. I'm just going to outline. I want you to see the difference. This just gives it a little something. It gives it a little oomph. It kind of just gives it dimension. See the difference? It just kind of, and I did that very quickly and very sloppily. All right, and then the straw, since we're pumpkin pie and doing fall, let's go ahead and I'm going to color the straw. And I'm not going to have to do any shading, but I do want to use 2 colors, again, to make it pop. So I'm going to go every other color, the darker of the pumpkin pie. And then let's fill in with the light pumpkin pie. Cute. Okay. So now, this is where we are going to show some dimensions. So right now, I'm going to use our, what do we call these? Stampin' Dimensionals. And today, I'm using the mini. I don't know if you can see that. These are the little ones and the big ones. Now, when I first started with Stampin' Up, I'm used to tape. Like, Close to My Heart had long tape, and we cut it, which was good and also kind of a pain. I'm really enjoying these dimensionals. They make it so much easier. But I didn't understand why we needed the small ones. I understand now. So what I'm going to do, I want my whipped cream to be, a little bit dimensional. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to stick this right here. I'm using the small ones, right? And this one right here. It's going over just a little bit. And then I like using this tool for getting these little pieces off. I got a piece off that one already. So I'm gonna just put that right on top, and did you see it's giving it a little bit of dimension. And then I am going to use, I need to grab it real quick, the Precision Glue by Stampin' Up. Again, this is something you may not have even seen in the catalog. It took me a while to find it. It has let me go out. There we go. It has like a little pick, and it's for real fussy stuff. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this glue right there. It's clear. It's very, very fine, and I can glue this behind. So I've got these 3 pieces, and I'm going to let that sit. And now I have this itty bitty little pumpkin. Isn't it cute? Let me zoom in again. There we go. Zoom in closer. All right, so a little bitty pumpkin. And I'm going to use my pickup tool. Pick it up. Well, I need to flip it over is what I need to do. Flip it. It's not flipping very good. Okay, flip it over. Let me get this on there. These little dimensions are just perfect for this little fine stuff. And I'm going to put this in the middle. And I'm going to just take that off. And I'm going to stick that right there in the middle. So there you go. So I don't know if you can see it, but rather than stamping it flat, it's got dimension. And we're going to use 2 of those on the card so you can kind of see. They're almost the same. We're going to use a donut or 2. I don't know yet. Let me go out. There we go. And we're going to use some pumpkin pie. And I know you guys like to see me. Oh, I was going to use the cider stick instead of that on one of them, but I forgot. I got mixed up, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. I'm going to show you how I color on bigger spaces. So I'm going to start. We're going to do the pumpkin pie first. So I'm just going to do nice light streaks with the lightest color. I'm going to color the whole thing in. Right, now I'm going to take the darker pumpkin pie, the skinny edge, and I'm going to outline the whole thing. Well, not the whole thing, but the whole filling piece. I'm having a hard time talking today. Just like that, okay? And that looks better, right? But I want a little bit of shading. So I'm going to come back with the fine edge of my lighter color, and I'm going to go back and color. Leaving kind of that center edge there. And I'm going to do the same thing on here. Kind of blend the edges. And there you go. And I can always go back and do a little more. Till I get it shaded the way I like. Can you see that? Do you see the difference? Do you see the shading? And I'm going to leave it like that. And if I want to, I can even come back on certain areas with the dark again. And you can just play around with it till you get it the way you like it. And then I'm going to use pecan pie, and I'm going to color the crust. I don't think I'm going to use 2 colors on this. I'm just going to leave it flat. I think I'm actually coloring. No, I'm coloring with the lightest color, but I like this because I don't want it to look like a burnt pie. So there you go. All right. Okay. so there's my pieces that I got to play around with. And let me grab my card. It is nice and dry now, so made the base. So now I'm just going to decorate the bottom. So I know I'm going to do a piece there. And this is how, let me go ahead and start. I'm going to just start putting things down. Now I'm going to pull this piece off. That'll help. All right. You know what? I didn't cut that really good. That's a little much white, so I'm going to snip it. There we go. That looks better, especially since that's going to be on the front of my card. So that's going to go right there. And then let's go ahead and do the donut. And I'm only going to put glue. You know what? I want to use the skinny side. Sorry, I'm working off camera. The skinny side of the all-purpose glue on the bottom. Oh, you're not clogged, are you? No, you're not clogged. I'm only going to do half of it because some of it might, depending where I decide to place this, stick over. Which, yeah, I'm going to do that right there. All right, and then let's do some pumpkin pie. And that needs to be popped up. So I'm going to do 2 things, 2 dimensionals. We're gonna, let's see, which way do I like it? Do I like it like that? I think I kind of like it like that. That's gonna go right there. Okay, then as you open, I know I want this piece to go here, and I don't really want it to hang off. I don't think I'm gonna pop that. I think I'm gonna just put that on flat. Oh, come on. What do I have glued to my glue? Okay. Getting low on this glue. I've been using it like crazy. Between getting ready for my fall retreat and doing seasonal projects, I've been busy. All right, and then let's do just one donut there. It's not going to show that much. All right, and there you go. Look how cute. So when you see it, it's going to look like that. Now I want to put a little sentiment over here. I already cut my piece of paper, my white paper, but I need to use some leftover brown to mount this. So I'm going to have to cut that because I want it to pop. So I'm going to end up mounting that. But right now, for now, I'm just going to stamp my sentiment, which I love this one. It's You Had Me at Pumpkin Spice. And I need to find my stamp pad is buried here. Okay, we are using a totally different color. We are using Cajun Craze. All right, so why, Tina? Why would you not use pumpkin spice? Well, if you look at it, it was orangey to me. Like, I didn't want it to be too much orange. I wanted a little bit of a color in between the pumpkin pie and or pumpkin pie and pumpkin spice. I wanted something in between. So that's why I came up with this color. I usually don't mix my colors like this, but for this one, I wanted an in-between color. So I'm going to stamp You Had Me at, that's a little bit crooked and I stamped it a little bit hard, so I'm just going to flip it over. Do you guys do that? I do it all the time. Don't ever dissect my cards if you get one from me. If you look at the back, it might have something completely different on it. You Had Me at Pumpkin Spice. The one thing with Stampin' Up! Inks is you need to have a lighter hand than what I've been used to for the last 30 years. So I mess up my stamping quite a bit. But I just flip it over or cut another piece of paper. It doesn't really matter. And then, you know, I love to do my wacky lines. So to me, everything needs wacky lines. Now, if you don't know what my wacky lines are, it's what I'm doing right now. I'm just drawing lines. No, they're not straight. No, they're not planned. They just wiggle waggle. And sometimes I do too, like I'm doing now, and they cross each other. And I don't know. I just really like doing this. A lot of my art, you will see wacky lines. And then I sometimes do loop-de-loos. And sometimes I add dots. All right, so I want to mount this, I think. Well, that looks cute. No, you know what? I'm not going to mount that. Let's just do it like that. Now, I want to be able to see the sentiment when the card is closed because I'm going to send it like that. So I'm going to line it up and put it all the way over to the edge. So let me go ahead and get my glue. Yeah, I thought I would mount it. I'll show you the difference. You can tell me if you like it better mounted brown or if you just like it plain. I think it looks fine plain, so we're just going to go with it. Like I said, I rarely make two cards exactly the same. This is about as close as I get to making it. So there we go. And I still have this pumpkin pie. I don't think I'm going to like that. Nah, I don't like that. I'm going to save this for the envelope. Here you go. So here we go. Let me zoom out a little bit. You had me at Pumpkin Spice. Super cute, super fun. Now, do you see all the dimension on this card? Like there's dimension here, there's dimension on the pumpkin, there's dimension here. All right, here's the same card. Let me move this. And let me... All right, I don't know if you can see it. You probably can't see it from here. You can really tell the difference. Let me hold it up. You can really tell the difference in person. I thought you'd be able to tell a little bit. This is just flat. Like I just stamped the pumpkin on the card. I mean, on the cup directly. I didn't use the die cut for the circle, so you got the white circle, which I don't really like. Actually, on this one, I did the pumpkin... I did a pecan pie and pumpkin pie, which I like. I wish I would have done that here. Well, I only used one pie. I wish I would have done the donut different colors. And then on this one, I used the apple, so that's different. But here, everything's flat. This one's got the mounted. This one's not mounted. And then, you know, there's just... I don't know if you just can't tell it from here. There's much more dimension on this card. So anyway, just a fun little card. Thank you very much for watching. Please give me a like if you like the video. Subscribe to my channel would really help me out, and I would appreciate it so much. I'm so thankful for all of you. And if you want to head over to my blog, I will have this card and all of the dimensions for you so you can make it and you don't have to rewatch and watch and watch. So head over to MissGingerDots.com and I'll link it in the bottom and you can get all the dimensions, and I'd love to see what you create with this pattern. Thanks for watching and have a great day.